shall we?
Begin
what exactly?
Studying for midterms, of course.
Dun dun dun!
Whoa, look out! I'll be making this period
A high-speed enhanced midterm study hall!
My doubles will provide special one-on-one attention, drilling everyone individually on areas where you need improvement most.
Man, this is balls. You seriously gotta wear a different headband for each subject. Give me a break, man! Naruto's not even on the test!
Look at him go! Is it just me, or is he getting faster? I mean, 6 doubles for Japanese, 8 doubles for math, 3 for social studies, 4 for science, 4 for English, 1 for Naruto. A Koro-sensei for each of us. And not that long ago, he was doing well to split himself up into 4 or 5.
Knife down, Karma. No sneak attacks during study hall. This is very difficult, so try not to disrupt my concentration.
Doesn't all this spread you a little bit thin, sir? I mean, just thinking about it makes me feel tired.
No worries there. I have a double outside on R&R duty.
How does that help? He's been leveling up like crazy these days. I wonder, is he just prepping to destroy the Earth or what? Any way you slice it, if you're an assassin, he's a tricky target.
There. Are you starting to wrap your head around the material, Nagisa?
Yes, sir. And if you're facing midterms, he's the best damn teacher you could ask for.
Consider this deceptively simple cube. If I wish to align the colors quickly and intuitively, what might be the best way to go about it? Any ideas?
Better luck killing me tomorrow.
The answer? Pry them apart and reassemble. It's as easy as that. Why, Koro-sensei? It's an honor.
Yeah?
Apparently, this gentleman is supposed to be the principal here.
Believe me, he is, which also makes him our boss.
Yeah! So good of you to come all this way, sir! Any chance we could discuss a teensy little hike in salary? If I'm not being too forward, of course. I've added a few extra versions of myself to help with the workload.
Forgive me for not visiting sooner. I meant to pay my respects before now, but one gets sidetracked. Mr. Karasuma and the Ministry of Defense have painted quite the vivid picture of you. Yes, vivid indeed. Though I don't pretend to understand the situation in every particular. Nor do I feel especially qualified to comment. However, I will say this, if I may be so bold. You seem to be torn between embracing the role of savior or villain.
Savior? Villain?
But no matter. Such things aren't for men like myself to resolve. I'm hardly in a position to save the world. That job I must leave to hands more capable. So, barring harm to my school, your assassins may deal with you as they will. I've been given plenty of incentive to turn a blind eye.
Thank you for your cooperation.
That's a very reasonable attitude, Principal. I find that quite attractive in a man.
You flatter me, madam. That said, though I'm happy to give you carte blanche to do what's necessary, I must think of the future should the Earth survive. In other words, what becomes of my school if Koro-sensei is assassinated? Not to put too fine a point on it, but E-Class must continue to serve its function in the grand scheme of things.
Interesting. So rock-bottom grades and students with zero prospects serve a function, do they?
Oh, yes. Are you familiar with the so-called worker ant theory? It tells us that in any group, 20% will work hard, 20% will be idle, and the remaining 60% will fall somewhere in between. Now, imagine a group without a middle ground, where hard workers comprise 95% of the population and layabouts only 5%. If the lazy worker ants are stigmatized, the ratio is perfectly feasible. Those who under normal circumstances fall into the average category better themselves to avoid being associated with the ostracized class.
Very logical. And of course, unless the 5% is kept down, the incentive for the other 95 disappears.
Just today, I received an alarming complaint from a D-class teacher. It seems a student of yours glared threateningly at 2 upperclassmen, such that the upperclassmen feared for their lives. I have no doubt the confidence to do so stems from their attempts to assassinate you, and perhaps that's to be expected. The issue, though, is that an E-class student dared to defy his better. Obviously, I cannot let such insolence stand. As his teachers, you are expected to remind the student in question of his place. Oh, and Koro-sensei, you have 1 second to solve this puzzle.
What? You just sprayed this on me out of the blue?
Whoa! What the hell is going on?
Your speed certainly lives up to the hype. I can see why most attempts on your life would be an exercise in futility. But bear in mind, my friend, in the grand scheme of things, there are many problems for which speed is of no use at all. Now, if you'll kindly excuse me. Oh. Hi there. I look forward to your midterm results. Best of luck to you.
Best of luck, the guy says. And just like that, I revert from assassin back to an E-class nobody.
As a target, Koro-sensei is practically invincible. Amateur and professional assassins alike have their work cut out trying to off him. But as a teacher, he's vulnerable to the whims of people higher up on the food chain. People like Kanukigaoka Academy Principal Gakuo Asano. A shrewd man who in the first decade of his tenure single-handedly hoisted this school to top-tier status. Essentially, if you teach here, there's no getting around his personal vision of order. That goes for us and for you.
Good morning, everyone! As you might guess, today I thought I'd make even more of me!
This is getting ridiculous.
Thinking caps on, let's begin!
Even the after images are getting sloppy.
It's like he's turning into a parody of himself.
Hey, Koro-sensei? No offense, but isn't this gonna wear you out?
Wear me out? Pshaw!
E-Class must continue to serve its function in the grand scheme of things.
Look at the poor guy. He's totally down for the count.
I say we try our luck.
Not that I don't appreciate it, but why is he teaching us so hard anyways?
To get those test scores up. Why else? If I do that...
Koro-sensei! We owe it all to you, Koro-sensei. Thank you. I'll never try to kill you again.
Oh, sir! Please, I need help with my grades, too!
I'll never have to worry about you trying to kill me again. It'll be sheer bliss.
I mean, the whole helping us study thing is nice and all.
But the reward money we get for assassinating him is nothing to sneeze at.
Let's face it, who needs to ace a midterm when you've got that kind of cash tucked away in your bank account?
Ah! Money isn't everything, people!
Oh, come on, you gotta cut us some slack here. We're the in class. Yeah, assassination we can strive for, but academics? Seriously, why bother?
I see. So that's how it is then.
How what is, sir?
Do you know what I think? I don't think you appreciate what it means to be an assassin. Everyone, schoolyard, now!
What's his deal, making us all stand out here like a bunch of goobers?
I don't know. Maybe something we said put him in a mood.
All right, children. Love or hate the E-Class system. As a remedial process, it can work. Imagine placing within the top 50 of 186 students on midterms. Make that a reality, and securing a former teacher's permission is all an E-Class student needs to return to the class from which they were ejected. But given the conditions we're forced to work under, the personal setbacks that landed each of you here are difficult to fix. That's why most E-Class students are convinced that returning to the main campus is no more than a pipe dream.
Don't tell me to hurry up. I'm not a child.
Sorry. Koro-sensei asked me to bring you.
Miss Yelovich.
Huh?
I'd like your opinion as a professional assassin.
All right, what do you want to know?
Now let's say you've been given an assignment. Do you have only one plan going into it?
Course not. If my profession has taught me anything, it's that plan A almost never comes off like you'd expect. There are just too many variables. A good assassin has backup plans on hand for any contingencies.
And Mr. Karasuma, what about you? When teaching knife combat strategies, do you believe the first strike is the only move of any importance?
The first move is important, but so's the follow-up. Never assume the first strike will hit, because when your opponent's trained, you have to be ready to deliver the next strike with at least as much precision and skill as the first. Or better yet, carry a second blade.
If you have a point, sir, I think we're missing it.
Listen to your teachers, boys and girls! Backup plans are the cornerstone of confidence, and a confident assassin is a successful one. The same goes for life in general. You strive for assassination, but not academics? You've heard the old saying, right? Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Well, that's exactly what you're doing here! Suppose I left the classroom for good. Suppose some other would-be assassin out there managed to do me in. What would you be left with? What would you strive for then? Or are you satisfied with being outcast? A word of advice from your Koro-sensei. You walk a fine line. Those who can't wield a second blade aren't qualified to be assassins!
What the? Holy crap, guys, check it out! Is that a tornado?
What a show-off.
There. Our schoolyard needed a good leveling, not to mention a few weeds cleared. I am a superior life form capable of destroying the Earth. As you could see, flattening out this little corner of it was a cinch. Cast your nets wide. Show me your backup plan, that crucial second blade. Otherwise, I'll be forced to conclude no would-be assassin here is worthy of me. And I won't have just a mind to leave. I'll flatten this entire campus as I go.
A second blade? So how long have we got?
Not very. Until the end of tomorrow. The midterms are upon us, class. I want all of you to place in the top 50. Whether you realize it or not, we've been sharpening those second blades all along. The main campus relies on dull, rote learning methods. I, to put it mildly, do not. You have what it takes, so wield those blades with confidence. Take your midterms by the gills, smiling, your heads held high. Be proud, be bold, and never forget, you are assassins. You are E-Class.
Okay. Ready or not, here we go. Midterms are administered on the main campus, even for us. Basically, To E-class, they're just an away game. Not much else.
Our knife isn't nearly enough to take this thing out! How are we supposed to tackle question 4?
I expected this. The midterms they give in this school have always been a beast. Damn it! You're kidding me! I don't even know where to start! This question's gonna eat me alive! I'm dead meat.
Did you really mean that crap? You're gonna take off if they don't all place in the top 50 on their stupid midterms?
That's right.
Well, way to be unrealistic. These kids have the worst grade point average in the entire school. Are you nuts?
I wonder sometimes. Either way, wherever they've ranked before, they're my students now. When backed into a corner, the first order of business is assessing your options. If I've taught them nothing else, I've certainly taught them that. Come now, we've covered this. The poor beast isn't as terrifying as all that. Start by observing that fin. On closer inspection, it's just that, a fin. Next, look over each part of the question with the same attention to detail and piece together what you find. Voila! A trivial adversary indeed. Now use that trusty blade to fillet it.
Of course. Take the problem one part at a time. That's the trick. Just like Koro-sensei's been teaching us all along. This question is dead meat. So this one, and this one, and this! And all of a sudden, poised to strike, a question we weren't ready for ambushed us from the rear.
Not to rock the boat, but this is ridiculous. You gotta help me out here. However I look at it, this test seems rigged.
I don't know what to say, sir. You ought to have received proper notification. Perhaps there was some sort of communications flap on your end. But there's no point in coming to the main campus. I can tell you that.
The communications flap wasn't on our end, buddy. Besides, what constitutes proper notification? 2 days before midterms, you decide to broaden the scope, and that's supposed to be enough time for us to cover everything?
With all due respect, Mr. Karasama, is it? You don't understand. We're a prep school.
This sort of thing happens all the time. Our students are expected to cram. That's been our policy for years. In fact, when it was decided to include new material on this midterm, the principal himself lectured our students on those subjects personally. It was wonderful. You should have seen it.
Unbelievable. Is there nothing this man won't resort to in the name of his own ideals? They've put us in a hell of a spot. If Koro-sensei leaves, we're screwed. We lose everything.
I take full responsibility. Clearly, I underestimated the school's dedication to the status quo. Forgive me if I can't bear to face you.
Have it your way. Keep your back turned if you want. Just makes it easier for us to sneak up on you.
I am in no mood, Karma! This whole situation has me very
So they added a few questions to the stupid test. Big deal.
Seriously? Hold the phone. You got 100 in math?
Your method worked like a charm, Teach. You gave us everything you had, and at the moment of truth, it mattered. So what if the midterms decided to cover new territory? I was ready.
Just a little more.
Don't worry, though. I'm not going anywhere. You see, this is where I belong. Normal class has nothing on assassination. So, where are you gonna go, huh? Where do you belong? You plan on using the fact we didn't all make the top 50 as an excuse to tuck your tail and run? 'Cause you're not fooling me. I think you're just scared that one of us is actually gonna kill you.
You could have just told us. Not like we'd blame you for being afraid.
Next time, consider being more straightforward with how you feel.
Even if how you feel is all, oh no, I want to run away.
No one is running away!
Okay, so what's the deal?
The deal is we get our revenge on this school twofold during finals. Children, this is no laughing matter!
There's no denying we hit a wall on our midterms. The same wall that's always closed us off from everyone else. But for once, I'm kind of glad to be behind it. Not just glad, proud. Proud to be an E-class.
Nobody puts E-class in a corner!
閉ざしたまぶたの裏側に赤い残像川のカバ